Hi, everyone. Welcome to the His and Her Rewatch podcast, where we watch movies that he likes.
And watch movies that she likes.
I'm the His, Caleb, and with me, my amazing wife, the Her, Megan. Megan, welcome to the show.
Yeah, welcome back.
Welcome back. Yeah, round 2.
That's right. We lasted 2 episodes.
2 episodes. It's a record.
Yes.
For what? I don't know. For us?
For us, that's right.
You're sticking with it.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of fun last time.
I did too. I
Yep.
do. Well, although we do have some housekeeping to do, which I feel like is for any first podcasters, we're always going to make some mistakes, but we made a big one.
We made a big one. Very embarrassed. This was pretty embarrassing. And I didn't even catch it, even after
Listening to it
and editing it. You caught it, but go ahead and tell them what you found.
Well, we owe a huge apology to Jack Nicholson and Jack Nicholas for both of them. We said Jack Nicholas throughout the entire podcast. I thought maybe we said it once or twice. No, it was the entire time, and we said it multiple times. So, Jack Nicholson, if you ever listen to that podcast, we apologize.
We apologize. We know the difference between Jack Nicholas, the golfer, and Jack Nicholson, the amazing actor.
Yes.
Both of them are amazing at their jobs.
Yes, they really are. And I think that's why they get mixed up a little bit.
Probably.
But yeah, that was a big one, and that's one thing. Even if we did notice it after we recorded, we can't go back and fix that.
No, we cannot.
I guess we could have put a disclaimer at the end.
Do like a voiceover the whole time, like Jack Nicholson, Jack Nicholson,
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson. That would
have been great.
That would not sounded great, but maybe
Hey,
it was
I would
a
have
good
been
joke.
impressed if you could have edited it that way.
Yeah. I would have had to learn that's a whole nother YouTube video I would have had to watch
That's right.
to learn to do. So
yeah, no, but we've loved the feedback from everybody. We were surprised with how many people actually listened to it.
I was like,
I think in my head, I was like, I mean, we'd be lucky if we had like 2, like
3.
our moms.
Yeah, it was like our moms and maybe
Ourselves.
someone else. And it was amazing the people that we haven't like talked to
Yeah.
in a while.
Super
or
supportive.
people-
Thought it was
yeah.
a great idea.
So that was the feedback. We love it. It's very encouraging.
Yeah,
'Cause
big
I think,
motivator.
I think that was the hardest part when putting this out on the internet. And it was better that I didn't actually know that I did it. Like it was like, because I was trying to figure out what I'm doing. I'm like, oh, well, it's posted, so we're live. and because just thinking about it, because I don't like putting myself out there a lot.
It's vulnerable, yeah.
It's vulnerable,
for sure.
and I have, me that I am, do not do well with rejection. So
Yeah.
putting myself out there was hard. So it kind of just happened, and so I'm like, well, here we go.
Yeah.
And so seeing the downloads, I get to keep track of the downloads and seeing that, and the feedback, which is really nice. The feedback. And people that are interested and waiting for our second one, which is this one.
Yeah.
So-
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. Yeah.
I'm so excited to hear what you had to say as well, but I'm so excited to even talk about it.
So we've done one. So what was your first impressions of our first one? What did you...
Of our first podcast?
Our first podcast, what did you like? Is there things you learned, maybe not specifically, or that you think to do differently, or...
Well, I mean, you know me, I'm not super analytical. I kind of just go by the seat of my pants and hope and pray that it works. But I mean, I did listen to it, and
Which I was shocked that you actually listened.
I know.
Listened to it.
I listen to it in the car. I'm a multitasker, so
I listen to all my podcasts mostly in the car. So
yeah. But no, I thought it was a great listen. I laughed at ourselves, so
Yeah.
I think I liked that it was really natural. Which I mean, obviously, we've been married for many years, so our chemistry is very good together. Yeah, like we
I hope it's
complement
real.
each other very well. Yeah, I know. I hope so. Right.
hope it comes across. It
Yeah,
does.
we've talked many times together, which is funny though, because you think, as many times as you talk and have dates or whatever, that you never really run out of things to talk about, and which is another good reason that we do this podcast, is it gives us something else to talk about, as a couple,
Yeah.
and just something to do.
Yeah.
Good marriage therapy.
And I was impressed, not shocked, but impressed at how good of a co-host you are.
Well, thank you.
And a lot better
That's compliment.
a lot better co-host than I am a host. I noticed.
Whatever.
I know I have a face for radio, but
Stop
turns out I don't have a voice for radio. I don't,
Yes, you do. Stop.
Okay, so I digress. But anyways, we'll jump into this first one. This our second one. Our first her. Our first her pick.
My pick. Yes.
And as y'all we teased in our last one, it is Runaway. I keep
very
saying
close.
that.
Very close.
Very
to
close.
It.
It is Pretty Woman.
Yeah, same actors.
Pretty Woman. Before we really get into it, I just want to tell the story from the other night. It was so funny because as we talked about, our kids are very supportive. They Jet listened to our podcast in the car on his way to his singing lessons.
Yeah, this is our 8-year-old.
Our 8-year-old Jet.
Our youngest.
And so he come back and they were telling me because he asked to put it on.
Yeah, he wanted to. Well, I was just listening to it just to listen to it, and then we were coming on the way home, and he was wanting to. He said, "Can we listen to it some more?" And I was like, "Really? Are you sure?" He's like, "Yeah, no, I like it." And he kept asking me questions because they've never seen the movie, so he didn't really know what was going on, but he still wanted to listen to it, which I thought was really sweet. Yeah. But yeah, at the end of it, we. Caleb said, like as Jet would say, like and subscribe, and he had the biggest grin on his face. He was like, "I got a shout out!" And so as soon as he came in the door, he's yelling at his dad, "Oh my God, I got a shout out!"
Yeah, and then it made because we were all Reed and Ella were downstairs with me, and when he came in, and they got jealous that he had got to hear the podcast.
Multiple kid problems.
And so they were like, "I want to listen to the podcast. I want to listen." And so we're like, "Well, we kind of played for a few minutes there while we were eating." But the funny part was, so we're sitting at the dinner table, and Ella asked, "What's our next movie?" And
God, you're gonna bring this up. Lord, the conversations we have at dinner.
So Ella. Megan says we're watching Pretty Woman, and so she goes, "Oh, can I watch that one? I want to watch that one or whatever." And Megan goes, "Oh no, you can't watch that one." And she's like, "Oh, why not?" And she's like, "Well, you want me to at least tell you what it's about? I'll tell you what it's about." We told her, and so she goes, "Well, do you know what a hooker is?" and she goes, "Yes," and like she does know, but she's probably barely knows what one is, but she's very uncomfortable with the whole situation.
About it, yeah.
So Megan goes, it's a story about a rich businessman falls in love with a hooker, and so he kind of tells a little bit, and then Jet's over there. And then all of a sudden he chimes in after a minute. He goes, "What's a hooker?" And Megan looks at me, and I'm
just like that sentence coming out of your 8-year-old is so cringy. I'm like, what?
So Megan looks at me. I'm like, this is all you. I'm gonna see how you get out of this one. I'm like, don't look at me. I'm just over there waiting for it to see what happened. So Megan did do a good job of telling it. I always just said. And so he goes, and then she had to preface like, "Please do not go to school and tell your friends about a hooker. Don't talk about a hooker at school." And so we don't want a phone call.
What did I say? I don't even remember what I told him.
I think you told it somebody that takes somebody home to home.
Oh yeah, I did. Something. I say somebody who is who's on the street and people come and like just take them home with them or something like that. I was trying to keep it, PG even, which then I kind of thought I just described a hobo. So
we had to tell her it was illegal to do it.
Yeah, I did say, I was like, it's illegal, whatever. And then he said something about it again. He said, I think he said, he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to go to school and be like, hey guys, I know what a hooker is," or something like that. I'm like,
he was playing off. I'm like, please don't. We do not need a phone call.
I'm like, please don't even hear, I don't want to hear that word come out of your mouth.
No, that's it. So
that was interesting.
So anyways, we'll get to our rewatch portion and our reviews and everything now. So,
well, color me happy. There's a sofa in here for two. Close your mouth, dear.
Who is this girl? Does she work? She's in sales.
Touchstone Pictures presents the story of a date.
This isn't a date, it's business.
That led to a deal.
I have a business proposition for you. I'm going to be in town until Sunday. I'd like you to spend the week with me.
That's becoming a dream come true.
Time to shop.
rewatched Pretty Woman.
Yes.
It's a 1990s film.
Yes.
Big surprise I did not know was this is a rated R movie.
Yeah, I was actually surprised too. I had no idea. I obviously watched the TV version when I first watched it.
It had to be.
I think most people did.
There was not. Okay, we'll get into it. There's not very much language. There's an
No,
F-bomb,
it was just
a couple.
the context
I think
of
it was
it,
2 or 3 F words.
I
But
don't even remember, to be honest.
mostly it wasn't even other stuff.
No, but it's the context.
Oh, definitely
of it
the
all.
content.
Like, it
Yeah.
is very sexual. I
Oh,
mean,
definitely.
yes, it is about a hooker, and it is very sexual. But yeah, I was trying to think back of when the first time I ever watched it, and I'm pretty sure I don't remember. Like, I'm pretty sure I watched it on TV, and I think I watched it with my mom.
Well, that's what I'm gonna say. Okay, after watching this movie, I'm like, what? We gotta call your mom. I need to get your mom on the phone. We're like, what? How old were you when you started?
I think I was like 15 or 16.
Ella is not going to watch this movie for a long time.
No, but I mean, watching it now, I guess it's not as bad as a lot of movies that are out there right now, even.
No,
And I think you
it's
look
not.
past a lot of it, which I know we'll get in more later, but you look past a lot of that just because of the story. But yes, I am like 99% sure I watched it on TV and they cut out a lot of those because
Yeah.
I remember when I rewatched it as an adult, I was like, well, I don't remember this part.
Well, I think
Like,
they would
don't
have
remember these.
And nowadays they probably would have gone further into some of those scenes.
Oh, absolutely.
And like
Oh, yeah.
they do cut and move to the next scene. You know, a lot more implication. Did you know, this is a Touchstone film. This is actually a Disney property.
What? No way. I didn't know that.
This is the I guess their adult version, their grown-up version of property. So released on March 23rd, 1990. This is only a few months after the Batman.
Oh, really? So we did too good.
So we're gonna like next year. We're not doing a 1991 film next. We're not going
No, we're not
chronologically.
going numerical. Yeah. No.
Yeah, so it actually grossed $178 million. It was the 4th top grossing movie in 1990. And do you know what other movies could you get? I probably couldn't guess. You probably couldn't remember. What
That were in 1990?
Yeah. You know any 1990 movies?
Top Gun?
No, that was not Top Gun.
I don't
But
know.
this one surprised me. What the number one movie was Home Alone.
Oh, that's not surprising though.
Home Alone. Well, it's not surprising. Well, I mean, you had
That's great,
so
movie.
Home Alone was number one. Ghost and Dancing with
gosh.
Wolves.
Oh, I gotta add that one to the list. Forgot about Ghost.
Ghost.
That's not a Julia Roberts movie, so I gotta add it to
I
the
wish you
list.
could see my eyes roll.
Have you seen that one?
Yes, I've seen Ghost. I've seen Ghost.
That's a good one. I've seen that one many times.
Yeah,
too.
and it beat out Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and The Hunt for Red October, which were those were two good ones that I could put on my list.
Yeah.
And
Ninja Turtles, really.
Ninja Turtles, yeah, that was one I like just to remember, probably not rewatch.
Yeah, that's right. Did you know
14
that?
to $16 million or something.
Did you know that Pretty Woman was not the original name?
I did found that thing. Go ahead.
You found that out?
I did find that out. No, tell them.
I was
go
really
ahead.
shocked about this though.
It was.
But the original name was $3,000, which was her rate for the weekly rate that she was with him.
Yeah.
But I was like, that is the dumbest name for
That would
a
not have
movie.
worked good. And Disney said it sounded like too much of a sci-fi movie. 3,000. It was either $3,000, however they want to word
Oh,
it.
yeah. I mean, it just doesn't fit at all. I don't know who
No.
came up with that idea,
So
but
they
yeah,
good
they
they
said
changed it.
they got Pretty Woman when they got the rights to that song. And so that was
Mm.
when they just decided to name it Pretty Woman, which I'm very thankful for because
Yeah.
I don't think it would have done as well.
Well, it also, we'll get into it a little bit. It wasn't, what we got is not what the original script was.
No.
So
Yeah.
we'll get into that a little bit. So director Gary Kent Marshall directed this. I think this is interesting how we're going to go back and see some of the, we'll learn a lot of these same names or see some of this and we'll see connections and stuff we didn't know. I think.
Yeah, 'cause we don't really follow directors.
Yeah, directors and some of this stuff like we don't make the connections. They're there. We know stuff, but we don't make I think it's going to be fun to see some of the, especially seeing like actors and stuff.
that the
How they're-
directors kind of favor.
Well, and how some of them are in other movies, especially the not so not the lead characters, not the lead actors and stuff. So I just want to read this. I thought it was interesting. I was like, okay. When I looked up his name, I was like, okay, we'll just breeze through. It's a rom-com. We're just gonna breeze through the director. But I did find it interesting. So Gary Kent Marshall, He did. He passed away in 2016. But I was going to read what I got off at IMDb. Gary Kent Marshall was an American actor and filmmaker. He started his career in the 1960s writing for The Lucy Show and The Dick Van Dyke Show. Before he developed Neil Simon's 1965 play The Odd Couple for television in 1970. He gained fame for creating Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, and Mork and Mindy.
Wow, dang, that's a
pretty
good rap sheet, man.
Yeah, that's just the show. And it goes on to say he is also known for directing Overboard in 1987, Beaches, Pretty Woman, Runaway Bride, and the family films The Princess Diaries and The Princess Diaries 2, Royal Engagement.
Wow.
He also directed the romantic comedy ensemble films Valentine's Day, the New Year's Eve. I don't want to say New York's Eve. New Year's Eve and Mother's Day.
Yeah, those weren't as good.
Those weren't as good, but I mean, he's got a nice.
That's crazy. Yeah, the TV
good
shows
career.
were
impressive.
The best
Yeah.
TV shows in that time.
The Lucy Show, which is
Or at
I had
least
to make
comedies,
I had to make
yeah.
sure that Lucy Show was the continuation from I Love Lucy. So I thought he was impressive.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I did not know that.
Yeah. So let's talk about. You want to talk about the cast?
Sure, yeah.
So let's get into the cast, and we'll probably jump around some of the scenes that they were in that were good, and so obviously, number one.
The amazing Julia Roberts. Yep.
I'm
One
not
of my
gonna.
most favorite actresses of all time.
I am not going to knock anything Julia Roberts. I will go ahead and say there's nothing.
Well, there's nothing to knock.
There's nothing to knock. I will. Stuff she's been in, I've seen her in. She's elegant. She's beautiful. And everything she's in, she's not over sexualized or anything. Except for this movie, probably a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
But it was early in her
She's
career.
So, just beyond even that, she's so talented.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
genuine. She's genuinely America's sweetheart. That's, we have a few that we kind of go through, Meg Ryan, Reese Witherspoon, Sandra Bullock. Those are all kind of the top women. But I always feel like Julia Roberts and Sandra Bullock are very similar.
They're very similar,
Similar as people.
If you don't pay attention, you'll get them mixed up.
Oh, yeah. Well, they look completely different. But, yeah, I can see how somebody might get them mixed up. But, just they have, even beyond just their acting abilities, they're just them as people. They're very humble. I don't know. I don't know them personally. Right. But they portray that humbleness. Yeah. They portray that humbleness. And, if you watch Julia Roberts' journey, she was only 22 or 23 in this film. Her acting ability is unbelievable. It's just crazy. And in some of the movies that she's been in, over the times are just, they're all pretty much the same. But she's gotten some great standout roles.
Oh, she's got some great ones.
Yeah.
And one of the, I think, Aaron Brockovich.
It's
such a good movie.
Yeah. And it was a lot different than what she normally had done. But,
obviously she's done a lot of rom-coms and stuff, but she's been in the ocean movies. She was Tinkerbell in Hook.
Right, yep.
And she's done some. This was really her first big role.
Yeah.
Now, what is your favorite Julia Roberts? Is it Pretty Woman your favorite Julia Roberts movie?
Man, I don't know. I would say.
Because you did Runaway Bride, and
I would say. I can't pick one, but they're two different. So I would say My Best Friend's Wedding is my favorite Julia Roberts movie.
Okay.
And Aaron Brockovich.
Who did she star with that?
Oh, I could not even tell you. That's the one with Meg Ryan. Not Meg Ryan. Cameron Diaz.
My Best Friend.
And I always forget that Cameron Diaz is in that movie because she's
yeah.
so young and doesn't look like her, and it's I don't know. There's certain parts of Cameron Diaz that come out in that movie, but she plays pretty much a normal role, and she's not a lead character. She's a supporting role in that movie. But yeah. My Best Friend's Wedding that was another one that I thought about doing instead of Pretty Woman, but I kept with the kind of 1990, 89 theme.
I know this is not going to be our only Julia Roberts movie.
No, I've really had to just put what I really wanted in the list and try to pick from others. But Julia Roberts is
Eat, Pray, Love. We watched that one together. Eat, Pray, Love.
Oh gosh, yes, that's a good one. Yep.
And
as far as her acting, like I feel like her most impressive acting role has to be Erin Brockovich, hands down.
Yeah.
You know, it's just so much unlike her, I think, and it showed just like her variety and her acting ability. And yeah, I really liked her.
Well, right before Pretty Woman, she did Steel Magnolias.
Yeah, that was kind of her big role. Yeah.
Yeah, but she was more supporting.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen Steel Magnolias.
I've seen it a couple times, but yeah, she wasn't like, I don't even know if she's on the movie poster, to be honest. She's not one of the leading parts. I think she's a daughter or niece of someone. I can't remember.
That's what. And I was looking up her casting of Pretty Woman, and she was not the first choice.
No, I know. I was so
there's
shocked.
There's a lot of names that were up for the role, and some that were offered the role. So we'll go through some of the other actresses that were up for the role, and there's Vivian. I mean, actually going up for role. Karen Allen, Meg Ryan, Michelle Pfeiffer, Demi Moore, Marissa Tomei, Molly Ringwald, which you're a big Molly Ringwald girl.
Yeah, I could not see her in this role at all.
No, and she was offered the role, but turned it down because she didn't want to play a prostitute. Now, of course, the studios always want the big name and and she wasn't. She wasn't the big name at the time.
I have more on here. I don't know if you saw.
Oh, I saw something. Okay. I cut it out.
Kim Basinger.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Kim Basinger was on here. Melanie Griffith and Sarah Jessica Parker.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I know they had.
But Meg Ryan was the big one that they wanted, because Meg Ryan was she was the top dog in that era. Like she was in all the chick flicks, you know. Because she just came out of When Harry Met Sally. That was around the same time, right? Or was it?
Yeah,
before?
that came out. Yeah, that came out in 1989. Because I remember seeing that on.
Yeah,
the list.
so I think that was why they had really wanted her to do it. But yeah, she turned it down too because she didn't want to play hooker.
Yeah, that's right.
and Julia Roberts said, "I'll do anything."
Well, I mean, like, you know, this is a lot different role that I've ever seen her in. But I mean, she's trying to make a name for herself. Yeah. I mean, she didn't. You know, it's not like. It was a difficult role in some areas, and I mean, I'm sure it was hard for a young actress to do some of those things, but you do it with taste and class and all that, like she did. I think it worked. Her screen partner, Mr. Richard Gere, and I always want to say Greer, but it's Gere.
He's my old man crush.
Really?
Like, yes.
Really?
Like, if there was ever an old man that was sexy, it would be Richard Gere.
Really?
Yes. But I really think, I guess he's a very good looking man. Like him and Pierce Brosnan, both of them, very good looking men. But I feel like it's his role in these movies that make you fall in love with him. You know what I mean? Like he could be a complete dirtbag in real life, but like we see him as these characters in the movies, and he's always the romantic interest, you know? So I think that is, you know, one other thing that makes him, you know, more attractive. But no,
well, that was what I was going to ask you if he was a thing or whatever.
No, I do. I think he's very attractive in this movie, and I mean, in future movies.
I mean, I can see like Pierce Brosnan. I don't really see Richard Gere, but
I mean, I'm don't normally go for old men, but I do think, you know,
I'm older.
Yeah.
Like 2 years?
You're just about as old as he was in this movie.
Well, how old was he when he got this?
I said he was 40.
Really?
Yeah, it says he was around 39, 40 years old, and Julia Roberts was 22.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I didn't find that. I didn't look that up. So that's impressive.
I know, that's kind of insane.
Yeah.
I mean, he did not look 40. Like, they didn't look, like, you could tell he was a little older.
Well, he's supposed to be. I mean, he's supposed to be older because he is the older
But that's a lot older.
businessman.
That's almost 20 years older.
Yeah. And they wanted to make her seem like she was not a seasoned prostitute. She was been in it for a short amount of time.
22. Like, she did look her age, and that was what she was supposed to be. Like, she wanted to go back to high school and finish her degree and that kind of thing.
Yeah, they had to be in that age range.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I knew he had to be a little bit older, and I mean, they talked about him having an ex-wife and all that.
That's
so
true,
it wasn't like not like this role was made for you know, two people the same age. This was
that makes sense.
Yeah,
you're right. It does make sense. I was still surprised, I guess, when you put a number on something, you know.
Yeah.
It always does shock you about that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. So, other choices for Edward Lewis.
I was so shocked. I was shocked.
Go ahead. Go
by
what you
this
got.
list.
I'll see what you
No, you go ahead.
Okay. That's your movie.
I didn't write them down. So
you didn't write them down.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't want to say it wrong.
Okay, this one was shocking. Christopher Reeve, Daniel Day-Lewis, Denzel Washington. That would have been a nice one. Burt Reynolds, John Travolta.
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
Okay. Michael Douglas, and there's more. Al
Other
Pacino even read with Julia Roberts for the role. So,
Wow.
but Julia Roberts really pushed for. She wanted Richard Gere. She, I think they had a meeting, a table read, and she sent him a note, said, "Please say yes."
Aw.
And so I think that's common now, or a lot of people. There's a lot of interviews, I think.
Well, I mean,
about that
obviously
and
they
stuff.
had really good chemistry. I mean, they did
Yeah.
not one but two movies together,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, and so I think
Same
and-
director.
yeah, same director. But I think that you know, finding that person that you mesh well, like they could be the best actor in the world, but if you have no chemistry, you know, no on camera chemistry, then it's gonna be a dud, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this movie so powerful is
Yeah.
their chemistry together, because it makes it so real, you know.
Yeah. There's definitely chemistry there. There was no doubt about that. Some other acting choices or actors and actresses. Jason Alexander was in it as Phillips Stuckey as his lawyer.
God, I
Most
hated him in this movie.
famously known in Seinfeld.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
such a villain in this movie.
Yeah. I'm not a Jason Alexander guy.
I'm not either, but
I don't even really care much for him in Seinfeld. And I just not a Jason Alexander fan.
no, but
Sorry,
he
Jason.
played
No-
this
no
role
offense.
great. Like, I mean, you wanted to gouge his eyes out.
Yeah.
Like, it was so good. Like, he was a really bad guy, but he did it.
I
He
just
did it so
don't.
well.
I just didn't like him in that role. I don't know. Like, I think there could have been better choices. I think. I mean, yeah, he was. And he's kind of sleazy, but I don't know.
I mean, I agree, but I think he did it well.
It was just maybe I just don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just I'm not a fan. My favorite actor in the movie was Hector Elizondo. Sorry.
You practiced
I
it so
can't.
much.
I know. I cannot do names. I'm gonna butcher so many people in this podcast. So just look forward to that. Just stay tuned for what names Caleb can butcher. So he's the hotel manager. He's Barney, the hotel manager. I think I like just when I see him and stuff. I don't know if he's in a lead role of anything, but he was in Runaway Bride also. He was in Princess Diary movies.
Oh yeah,
I
I remember the Princess Diaries.
even
He
Mother's-
marries the queen.
Even Mother's Day, yeah. He was even in Mother's Day, and he's on Last Man Standing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And that's a TV show. It's not a movie. It's a TV show. If you're familiar with that, with Tim Allen, yeah, I think he's great in that. So when I see him and stuff, it's just like he's just going to do a good job. It's just usually a supporting role, not very much going on. So the other one we have is Vivian's friend Kit. And
Gosh, she's so cute.
she
I
is.
love
It's
her.
Laura San Giacomo. So hope I got that one right. If not, there's another one. Write it down. Somebody keep a list of the names I butcher. We got Jack Nicklaus in the last one.
We
and
got
totally
Jack Nicholson.
I just butchered that, not from pronunciation, just
Not getting it right.
But anyways, she did a good job as Kit. I was afraid. I was wanting to see her again. Like she was in the beginning, and then she didn't come back until the end. So I was glad to see her again. But she got out of acting movies when she had a child, I think, and so she was. I don't really know her except from that show Just Shoot Me. So if you're familiar with Just Shoot Me in the early 2000s, she was in that. But she did a good job.
Yeah, she's so cute.
So that was that's all the actors. I mean, there's plenty of other good ones, secondary roles and stuff. But so apparently, I've never seen this movie before.
No way.
I was watching. I turned it on. And I was like, I don't remember this at all. So I don't think I've ever seen this
Well,
before.
good. I'm glad.
So
Shocking. I can't believe
I know
it.
I've seen those scenes. There's a couple of scenes I've definitely seen. I probably
yeah,
watched
well,
pieces of it with
yeah.
you, and
I mean, they're just like memes at this point. Now.
yeah, a lot of it is, and I so I'd never seen it.
So what did you think of it overall?
So
like,
this is-
overall opinion.
So this was funny.
First timer watching.
It's just funny because I was thinking about this. I'm like, you know what? I really paid attention to this movie a lot more if it was just me and you just watching this.
Oh, what? Because
Just
we're doing
because we're doing a podcast
Oh.
about it. Which
Oh, you said you pay attention more.
I paid attention more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got that mixed up. Sorry.
No, I pay attention more to the movie. I was like, I paid attention a lot more than I expected, even, than I would normally watching it. So, but, so, I mean, it's a rom-com. So, I mean, it's not my cup of tea. I mean, it's
not supposed to be.
No, it's not. That's the whole point. And so there's things that, I don't know, there's 1990s movies, and there's some things I think they could have done better, or
like what?
I don't know, okay, first, well, it's part of what we're looking at. I mean, it was a good movie. It was a good rom-com.
You want to trash it?
No, I'm not going to trash it. I mean, there's other things I want to talk about that I'm not going to kind of get into.
You keep saying it's a good rom-com. It's a good movie.
It's a good. No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Caleb.
It's not a good overall. It's a good love story. The love storyline was fine. It was good. Their chemistry was good. What I didn't like the business storyline.
I know. I always forget. I don't even understand what
happened. No, it was so generic.
I have no idea. But that's not the point of the movie, though. But yeah, every time I watch the movie, though, I'm always like, what is they doing again? What is it?
Exactly. I'm like, well, as a guy watching this movie,
I see that.
You know, there's some rom-coms and that I've enjoyed over the years that have a good story they're following, and there's a love story involved with it.
Yeah.
And it's entertaining.
I wouldn't say this was a rom-com. It's a romantic comedy.
That's what rom-com means.
I know, but this is not a comedy.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not supposed to be funny. It really is. It's
kind
of like The Notebook. The Notebook is not a rom-com. It's more of like a romantic drama.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Or just a romantic movie. It's not really a rom-com. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like When Harry Met Sally, that's a rom-com.
Yeah.
Or My Best Friend's Wedding, that's a rom-com. It's hilarious. It's funny. You know?
This is a little more serious. Well, I think it goes back to, and I read this, that it wasn't initially supposed to be a rom-com. Mm-hmm. This was like a dark
romantic
movie.
drama.
It wasn't even, I guess, but this was supposed to be more of a cautionary tale of prostitution and drugs in the streets of LA. I mean, this was a dark, I think, originally they were going to have Vivian as a drug addict, and the ending was very dark. I think Kit dies at the end.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I think some of those actresses that were going to, that they didn't get the second script of it. So I think they declined or turned down the darker role. So that might have something to do with it. And I think when Disney got the rights to the movie, to the script, they were like, let's change this up. So they changed it to, and you can see a lot of that dark elements. They kept some of that in there. In the beginning, I mean, they talked about the body in the street and
the crackhead.
The crackhead, and it was very dark in the beginning, and then it really flipped. So they did really keep some of those dark aspects, but then they got away from it a lot.
Yeah.
But,
or where she was in the bathroom and he thought she was doing drugs and all she was trying to do was floss her teeth.
Yeah.
I love that.
That was cute.
That was the best.
That was cute.
Because I think as an audience, I knew, but as an audience, we thought, oh my God, she's doing drugs, you know? And I'm just flossing my teeth.
Yeah. What's it got in your hand? Well, I don't know why she was hiding floss.
She was embarrassed.
Oh,
Who
okay.
wants to floss teeth? She was just embarrassed. That's why she wanted some privacy. Not to shoot up heroin, but to floss her teeth.
So I as a guy watching a movie, it would have been a better story if there was more interesting second storyline.
Right. I can see that, yeah.
So I was just sitting there thinking, this is so generic, let's do the merger. We're selling, it's just what are we doing? You're buying a company and that's all we know. It was nothing interesting about that.
There really was no point to it except for it was showing him changing as a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That wasn't believable.
No.
I mean, it wasn't believable because what did she do? She was just having fun with him. He's never had fun or enjoyed.
I think no, because I think especially with the whole floss thing, he had that line where he says you surprise me, and she's like, okay, and he's like, a lot of people don't surprise me. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what made him open his eyes. Like that was the turning point for him, especially with her. But I also think with just like his whole life and his whole outlook was like, you know, don't judge a book by its cover, you know, and like people can surprise you, people can, you know, happily surprise you, you know, and I think that was where, you know, that started was. And I think that's what was different, was that she was different than what he had done, you know. That's like there's a line when they're at the horse race where you know
polo.
The girls, the polo thing, I can't remember what it was. The polo where the girls were like, you know, girls are standing in line to get with this guy, and she's like, why? You know, and which I'm like, you know why, but whatever. But I think that's what it was that she was so different.
Where'd she go? She said, I'm just here for the sex.
Yeah.
They're like, it was so honest. They were like close to her. And she goes in there hooting and hollering during the match. I thought that was
I think that's what it is. She was just herself. And
her genuine self. Okay.
And he had never met anybody like her. And I think that made...
Why did it change him as a businessman?
Because what he did, I mean, and we talked a little bit about this after the movie, but what he did for a living was kind of crooked. Like they both said, we both screw people for money. Mm-hmm. You know, like he screws people over, you know, and it was kind of, you know, a douchey move, like that his job, you know, I was kind of like, golly, and I know there are people out there, you know, they're sharks, that's what they do. They take businesses and, you know, run with it and take businesses and split them up and make money or whatever. And that is a profession, it's a job. They need people to do that. But, you know, with this old man and his grandson, you know, they were kind of taking advantage of that. And I think she made him see, you know, that's not the way it has to be.
Yeah, okay.
That's not the only way it has to be, you know.
And
you're saying a woman can't change a man?
No, I'm saying it was very fast and it was just...
Well, they were with each other for 24/7.
I know, but that was only 24 hours.
It was only a week. I know.
It was only a week.
I know.
It changed his heart.
It's also a movie.
It like changed his heart. I know you got to hurry.
It's like my mom always says. It's in the script.
Yeah, it's in the script. Yeah, that's true.
It's just how it's supposed to go. Okay. But that's kind of like the big part of it was like, again, you know, you get to my favorite line in the movie is at the very end, and you know he says he comes up the fire escape, and he says. You know, what happens when the man rescues the girl, and she says, I rescue him right back.
Yeah.
Or she rescues him right back.
So what happened after he climbed up the tower and rescued her?
She rescues him right back.
You know, and that's the whole point of this whole movie, is that it's romance, yes, but you know, he saved her, but she saved him too. Yeah. You know, and I think that's what is so compelling about this movie, and why so many people like it, is because, you know, it's not just a princess fairy tale. You know,
it's like a modern. It was a modern Cinderella.
Yeah,
you know,
Cinderella.
The blank. Yeah.
Yeah. We gotta blank that out. Blank that out for podcast.
I know. So
you did dare me to say that on the podcast.
I was like, you love that line, and they're like, I'm like, you gonna say it?
No, I'm not.
No, they did. It was. I know it was a story about saving each other. They both needed saving from their lifestyles,
right?
And he had to realize that. I think he had to realize that he was trying to save her.
That's right.
And then he realized that she's saving him.
That's right.
And so,
also, she said, you know, too, at the end, it was like, she's like, I'm not a charity case. You know, I don't need saving. I don't need your money. You know, I think, and that was
that showed a lot. Her really willing to walk away, especially that first time she quit. She wanted to quit and just left the money on the bed. That really changed his heart, I think, a lot, because
he's like, for the money.
Yeah, he's like, he's not worried about the money.
No.
So, yeah, I get it. I mean, I guess all these movies, they don't have a certain amount of time to do all of it, I guess, in that story.
Yeah.
But
well, we also only paid her for a week, so
yeah. So one thing I did think is I didn't really believe Julia Roberts as a hooker. Like, I don't know if it's because I just seen her in everything else, and that's not like the role she plays, or I mean, she wasn't believable. Like, yeah, she looked the part and acted it, but I don't know. Maybe it was just a personal thing for her, but I think she did I mean, she really did a great job as the fish out of water
Yeah.
trope. She was the dinner scene was great.
Yeah.
Not knowing what to do, the forks
with the what is it, the mussels? I don't know what it
No,
was.
that was
the
a
clams?
escargot.
Escargot, and the snail shell goes flying, and the guy catches it, and he goes, happens all the time.
Okay, did you know that guy was in the director hired him in Princess Diaries. And when Anne Hathaway's character is banging on the glass and it breaks, he's the guy that says, "Don't worry, it happens all the time."
Oh my gosh, how cool is that? I did not know that.
Yeah, I thought that was
that's
funny.
another favorite part. I love that part in that movie.
Yeah, same guy. So,
Well, it's kind of the same premise. She's a fish out of water too.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah, exactly.
having to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
be, a princess. It's kind of the same thing.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of dinner scenes like that, but that's awesome. I
That's
did not
funny.
know that.
I thought that was funny. I was going to get that later, but I thought that was great. That was perfect.
You got
timing.
me there. I did not know that. So, what's your favorite scene? Because I know what mine is. I'm curious. Well, I have a couple. I really can't pick a favorite,
Okay.
but what's a good standout scene that you liked?
Okay. Let's see. I got a couple I just looked at. But I think, I'll say my favorite scene was the opera scene.
Ah, yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I like the opera. I think Julia Roberts does a great job.
Oh my God, her response, like her facial response to what she's watching.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She did a great job of that. And I mean, obviously it's iconic. The red dress, the red lipstick. She's beautiful. And she just, that close up on her, the contrast with her red lipstick was just like really stood out. And the way she did that scene.
Yeah, the costuming in this movie was just magnificent. Like I would totally wear all these outfits now. They're just so timeless and classic. And I mean, especially Julia Roberts. Like, I don't know anything about the guys. I mean, their suits, whatever. But I mean, just like Julia Roberts' outfits.
I don't like the double-breasted suits.
I know you don't.
I was not into that. No, I mean, for the 90s, it's fine.
But but I think I love like watching, I don't ever look at costumes when I first watch a movie, but when I watch movies over and over again, I've seen the story I know the plot line, whatever, but I always like to look at the costumes and like how the coloring and the way the costumes are just designed and how everyone else looks in a scene. Like they're made for the stars to stick out.
Yeah. Well, that red dress was actually originally going to be black.
Oh wow, yeah.
So
definitely should have been red. Yeah, that was a good call on that one.
Good change.
Yes.
So that was that whole scene was great. And then of course one of the best lines is like, I liked it so much I almost beat my pants.
What? What'd she say? She liked it better than Pirates and Penzance, whatever that is.
Oh, you did good remember that. We've seen it enough times.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I could not remember that part of it.
Did you enjoy the opera, dear?
Oh, it was so good I almost peed my pants.
What?
She said she liked it better than Pirates of Penzance.
Oh.
I know, and the other thing was too, like especially with the costuming, was her necklace, the big famous necklace thing.
Yeah.
Well, did you know that necklace really was $250,000?
Really?
Yeah, they said that and it was on loan from a jeweler, and they said they had a security guard that was on set, that was what do you call it? Guarding the necklace. Yeah,
That's
I was like, that's
hilarious.
crazy. But like, I think you sent me a reel, and that it was Richard Gere had improv that whole scene of him clamping it on her fingers,
and that's her
reaction.
Her reaction was genuine.
And I did know that. That's one of the big things about that movie. But her cute little laugh is just the best.
Yeah.
And again, I think that's another reason why she's so great is her laugh. Like, her laugh is iconic and just memorable. Everybody knows that laugh is Julia Roberts.
It looks real. And it looks real. And it
definitely was real in that
that
part,
one was, but anything.
Yeah.
She does. So it was a couple other scenes. Obviously the shopping scene.
Yes, the shopping. Well, I think the one I liked was the shopping scene with Edward.
We're going to need a few more people helping us out. I'll tell you why. We're going to be spending an obscene amount of money in here. So we're going to need a lot more help sucking up to us, because that's what we really like. You understand that?
Sir, if I may say so, you're in the right store and the right city, for that matter.
it was, he was trying to work the whole time, trying to get his stuff done, but he just, again,
he took his time. It was nice because he took his time to make sure that she was taken care of.
Right. Oh, and I love the part where, and I can't, what's that actor's name that's in that scene with him?
I don't know his name.
I've
seen him in so many things.
He's
a good comedy.
now, but he goes up to him and he's like, "Is everything okay? Everything going good?" And Edward's like, "I think we need a little bit more kissing up." And he's like, "Well, sir, you're looking very handsome." And he's like, "Not me, her."
Yeah.
And it's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
I love that part.
Yeah, that was a nice scene. And when she goes back, when she's carrying all her stuff, goes back to the old boutique. What did she say? What was it?
It's a big mistake. Big.
Oh yeah.
Huge. I have to go shopping now.
You work in commission, right?
I know. The look on that girl's face was like, oh yeah, I do know you.
Oh, yeah.
Big mistake.
Huge. The polo scene. We already talked about the polo scene.
Yeah.
She had some cool moments in that. Anything else? Any other scenes that I'm trying to remember some that were.
Well, there's one. I mean, we have to talk about a little bit about the sex scene, but there's one scene at the end of the movie, and it was a sex scene. And I know we felt awkward already just talking about sex scenes in a podcast, anyways. But
especially for our second one.
Yeah. We're not trying to set a precedent here. But the camera work on that last sex scene where it's going behind the bed and it has like that lattice work on it, and
right.
it was kind of, it obscured like what was going on. It kind of made it more, I don't know, I guess not PG-13.
It makes things up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it just wasn't like straight on. I just thought that was really good. Like, I can appreciate some really good camera work.
Get creative with
that.
it.
It was very creative.
It was.
I mean, and she's taking her clothes off, so they're trying not to show you everything, so it was kind of made it a little bit more mysterious, and I mean, that was, and I don't know why, but that always sticks out to me every time I watch that movie.
Really?
Like, just that one shot, like, I thought that was pretty smart,
Yeah.
And I can appreciate it. Like I said, I'm not a camera buff. Like, I don't pay attention really to cinematic views, especially if I'm watching it for the first time. But I try to keep a good eye on that kind of stuff, or something like that. It definitely sticks out to you,
right?
But yeah.
One of the other scenes that I liked is the famous scene of her in the bathtub.
Oh my gosh!
And it was good, and she's singing a Prince song.
Yes, she was.
So that was throwback to our last podcast.
Yes.
We had Prince in that one. She's
know.
singing Prince, but I think she does great in that. And I thought it was funny though. Do you have anything to add to that?
No, I was just gonna go. Kiss.
Yeah, and she's like not singing well. So
No. That is one thing. Julia Roberts is a great actress, but she cannot sing.
No, she can acting.
She's done that in a couple movies, and she cannot sing.
Yeah, which is cute because it's like, I mean, it's cute because she's not supposed to be singing.
She doesn't care.
No, yeah, that was great. And so I thought it was funny. I read, I don't know if you saw this, that the detergent they used in the bathtub to make it so,
oh my gosh,
to make it sudsy and stuff, it actually stripped her hair, her red hair out. She had to get her hair redone.
Oh, no.
Because it stripped it out.
I did not know that was detergent, but yeah.
Yeah, they had to, it's movie magic to make the suds. That's not real life.
Yeah, that's a lot
to
of
keep
bubbles.
that. It's a lot of bubbles, and it's got to stay a lot of bubbles. It doesn't.
Yeah,
like
I'm surprised it was like Dawn detergent or something, or like dish detergent. Maybe it was.
But it was a lot thicker. It wasn't like so bubbly. It was really thick.
Yeah.
So
like, now the thought that she went down under that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It was so strong. I'm sure.
Come up with it all over her eyes, and then she had to deliver that line. Like, I'm sure that was a genuine reaction too.
Yeah.
It was just laughing.
There's some cuts from her like having to wipe her face and kind of get it where she can stick to the scene.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of any other ones. I'm sure we missed something. Somebody's like, "What about this scene?"
Oh my god! But there's so many. I mean, there's a lot of different ones. But I think those are the main, iconic scenes. One other one that sticks out to me is, just, it's not a great scene, but whenever his lawyer comes over and tries to take advantage of her, and and you're just like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? And then he comes out just like, oh my god, that was so sexy. I wanted to say that then. I wanted to say it so bad.
I'm so glad you did.
In the movie, I was like, oh my god, that's so hot. Just coming for her, and like, don't you ever do that. Get out of here. I feel like he's very like Edward, I don't know about Richard Gere, but Edward's character is very level-headed. He's kind of a one-note guy. He doesn't have a lot of levels of his personality. But him coming in there and being so angry, like I kind of wished, and I don't know why they didn't, but I wish they would have shot back to her. Like after he yelled at him, like the last time he yelled at him to get out, like, and I thought they do, but they don't.
Really?
I didn't. Like, whenever
I thought they did, and
they did one time,
okay,
but not right. Like it was right before he punched him, I think, or maybe right after he punched him, they shot back to her, but no, after like, and maybe that was all they needed was just a one shot back. But I guess I would have loved to have her like, just her reaction after all of that.
Her night, like, oh, you saved me, kind of look.
Or I don't know, just like surprised,
Oh, okay.
But yeah, and of course they come back to her. She's always gonna make a joke out of it. She's like, "Why do they take you guys aside to like teach you how to slap a woman? Because why do you slap so hard?"
The right spot. I think.
Yeah,
that's
just in the right spot.
Perfectly placed. Yeah.
Why do guys always know how to hit a woman right across the cheek, wham, and it feels like your eye is gonna explode? What do they do? Do they pull you aside in high school and show you how to do this?
Some guys don't. All guys don't hit. No, that's good.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said, "No, all guys hit."
Yeah. All right. So, best acting, Julie Roberts. Roberts, best acting, and she gets the best acting award. Worst acting. Do you have a worst acting?
I don't. I really don't. I think literally everyone, even down to the ladies in the front counter, was great acting.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess maybe I could say like the snobby lady at the store. Just because she was so snobby, but I mean, she did a good job.
I know you liked Jason Alexander's. I just didn't like him in that role. He did a fine job. I did what he did.
I mean, I agree.
Well.
I do think it could have. I mean, I think there could have been a lot of actors that could have done just the same, if not better. But I think, and again, I think it's because of how many times I've seen it. I can't see anybody else in any of the roles. Like they all did a really good job.
Yeah. I think, like you said, I mean, Richard Gere gets overlooked because of Julia Roberts' job in the film. So
I think that happens in a lot of movies he's in. Is his screen partner is so amazing and iconic.
He has one note, and maybe that's just what he was supposed to do. I don't know. So it's one of those two. I think.
You said Richard Gere.
I don't want to offend you, so I'll go with Jason Alexander.
Oh my gosh!
I
think it was his character.
I didn't believe him really as a businessman. Like maybe the whole thing was just written bad. I don't know.
Can't believe it.
Well, stop shaking your head.
I can't believe it.
I got to be honest, right? But
I
it's
could
fine.
agree with Jason Alexander, but not Richard Gere.
Okay. All right. So only a thing. There's no CGI or no special effects in this. There's nothing really to talk about.
Nope, it was all real.
The sets and location. The hotel was nice. That was like a real hotel. I'm sure.
Yeah,
the lobby was real, obviously not the hotel room. And it looked fine. They did a good job with that, except for the balcony. I'm like, you could tell that was like not a real balcony outside. They didn't even have like a outside shot from out there. It was like all looking in.
Yeah.
Or like it.
They had some wind machines going.
Yeah, they did have wind going, and so I didn't like that. And I'm thinking, what I was thinking the whole time, maybe not the whole time, just thinking back on it, he's such a rich guy, and he has so much money. And you see this, and maybe you see this in all the other stuff. There's no like exotic locations, or I mean, they're in a hotel room. Mm-hmm. They go to San Francisco, and there's no like outside scenes. And
I know they didn't even show them on the plane.
Which apparently they didn't go to. They were planning on going to San Francisco for that, but there was a huge earthquake at the time, so they filmed it at something, and they filmed it some.
Well, that's probably one reason why there weren't any.
There weren't, but there was no like. I mean, they had the streets. They had Rodeo Drive.
Yeah, I love those scenes. Those
that was the best location they had, but I thought they could have done something a little more exotic.
I loved watching all of the extras outfits. Like they're over there looking at her outfit and like, oh my god, I can't believe what she's wearing. I'm like, what are you wearing? Like, what is that? Like I would rather be wearing what she's wearing than what you're wearing.
Favorite quote. We talked about a couple of them. What was your favorite one? Was there
Well,
any other
obviously,
one?
my
Did we
favorite
miss
one
any
is-
of them?
Yeah, there was one that was really great at the
Okay.
beginning when she says, "Baby, I'm going to treat you so nice, you're never going to want to let me go." And I was like, yeah, girl. That's right.
Oh, the best. I think the great. This one might be. I might have changed my mind on the favorite one. It's.
Oh, I know which one it is.
It must be difficult to let something
Yeah.
so beautiful go.
Yeah.
It must be difficult to let go of something so beautiful.
Yeah, of course, all
It
my
must be
lines
you.
are Julia Roberts lines.
Yeah, yeah. I like that one. Or, it was so good I almost peed my pants. That might have. It was one of. But I like the. Those are my two favorites.
Yeah, I love Kit's line too of the sender Effinrella. I was so like out of like what?
Yeah, that was good.
I wonder if that was ad lib too, because Julia Roberts' reaction to that was pretty shocking. I looked surprised.
All right, I need to get wrapping this up. Let's see his and her ratings. We're down to the ratings. So.
Oh, I have actually.
Oh, you have something else? Go ahead.
I have a good fun fact.
Oh, fun fact.
Kind of what we talked
I think
about.
we covered most of mine that I had.
We
so.
had I should have said it during the opera scene, but I didn't even think about it. But I thought this was really cool. So the opera that they went to is called, and I'm gonna butcher this.
Okay, good.
But
good.
It's Italian,
Don't
right?
leave me.
It
Don't
was
leave me by
Italian.
myself.
Yeah.
Butchering stuff.
It was La Traviata, which is fittingly about a prostitute who falls in love with a rich man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it was parallels to.
Yeah.
literally.
So that was an intentional opera show that they
gotcha.
put in there.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice touch.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. But yeah, rating systems.
Rating systems. So, what we agreed on. You don't have to rate your movies.
Yeah, obviously 5. I picked it. It's 5.
It's a 5, and I'm
God,
thinking
I'm so nervous.
I'm thinking like I don't know what to compare it to. Like what is a 5, like, or what is a 0? What is a
You better not rate this a 0.
or a 1? No, but like, is this one of the top rom-coms that we're going to see? Like, because I'm thinking like, what if I'm going to have to compare this to something else? I got, you know what I mean? So it's kind of hard. But it's hard to deny the impact that Julia Roberts had on this movie and culturally what it did.
Yep.
And everything, despite some of the flaws in the movie that I picked out that you're not happy with.
I agree with him though. I agree.
You understand where I'm looking
A little
for.
delayed in the storyline, but they weren't the most important part.
Yeah. So
I can look over those.
I'll give it a 3. I'll give it a 3.
A 3. So we're gonna give all of these movies a 3.
I can't give it a 4 or 5. And I don't want to be mean.
This is what Happy Marriage looks like. You just give each other's 3s.
Just right above average.
That is average.
No, I think it is. I might change my mind later, seeing some other ones. I'm like, no, Pretty Woman was probably the best one we've seen, but maybe later on.
Agree.
I'm like, so I'll say a 3 for now.
Okay.
But like I said, it's only because of Julia Roberts.
And Richard Gere.
No. There's so many people could play that part and done well.
No, not have the chemistry that they
Okay,
had,
well,
though.
the chemistry is undeniable.
Yeah.
But
No, I agree. She was great. And the fact that she was only 22, 23 at that time
yeah,
is crazy.
I mean, I don't know how much these movies like launch people's careers, but I mean, I would think that movie launched her career. I would think so.
I mean, I think she completely, signed her name on every contract from there on out.
Yeah.
Like people were seeking after her after that role for sure.
Yeah. And I think it just grew more and more through the 90s. I think really late 90s, I think she really was hitting it.
Oh yeah,
strong.
she's like in everything.
Yeah. She still does great things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's still doing a lot of things.
I'm giving it a 3 for Julia Roberts. But I'm not.
Well, thank God we had Julia Roberts in this movie.
No, there were some other good acting. Like I said, there's some other good acting.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, anyways,
I just don't know how you could rate this the same as Batman.
I didn't rate Batman.
I know.
That was your rating.
I know. I guess I was too generous.
Oh, that's how. You're gonna change your Batman.
I will now.
Well, that's the difference in the his and her ratings.
I know, it's so
my
weird.
rating of your movies and your rating of my. So now you're gonna.
No,
my next
Pretty
choice
Woman
you're gonna.
is so iconic. Like,
Okay, yeah, but I'm saying as a rom-com, it's probably really good. There's some other ones I think is gonna be great. It's a 5, Megan. All yours are 5 stars. Okay.
I'm like, well, fine, I'm gonna change my rating.
I know.
I'm gonna give it 2.5.
Okay, I digress.
Fine, I'll take your 3.
With the eye roll.
No.
With your arms crossed, you will. Okay, so any other final thoughts on this besides, I guess I'm sleeping on the couch tonight?
No. It's fair. It's your own opinion.
Okay.
It's free country.
All right. Well, it's a nice first choice. I will say it's a nice first choice. I did enjoy watching it. I'm glad that we're doing this. I can really open my eyes to these movies and not just casually blow them off and get on my phone and just do it because you want to watch it. But
well, I do think from now on we can't give every movie a 3 because I feel like that might happen.
No, I think there'll be some better ones. I mean, there'll be better ones and there'll be worse ones, yeah.
Okay.
But like you said, this is the first one.
I kind of saw that coming though.
Okay. Moving on. The rating system was supposed to last for a few minutes at tops. This has lasted way too long. Way too long. All right, so
Next movie.
All right, so this one was hard, and I guess we'll spend a lot of time on this too. No, but I think you were having this problem too the other day when you were looking at your movies that you're going to do, and I'm like, and I picked the first one, and now as I picked the second one, I'm like getting feedback a little bit, and like somebody told you that they were interested to see what your picks are going to be.
Yeah, they were looking forward to see
like,
what mine were going to be.
And so now it's like, that's pressure.
I know.
Now there's pressure because like I feel like I'm representing all the men and you're representing all the women.
Wow, that's a lot of pressure.
And so not that that's what this is about. This is about what I like and what you like, or what your picks. It doesn't have to necessarily like your top movies, but your picks and my picks. So I think we there's a little bit of pressure to pick a good one that everyone's gonna like to listen to us talk about. I knew what I was looking, and I was going to go with this franchise. I had to pick a movie. I wanted to pick a movie out of the James Bond franchise.
Oh my gosh.
Because if you know me at all, I'm a huge James Bond fan.
Yeah.
And so we cannot go very long without me picking a James Bond movie.
Third episode.
Second pick from Caleb. It's a James Bond movie. I didn't want to do another superhero movie.
I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised you didn't do that first. I think you didn't do it first because this was kind of your plan all along, was to do superhero movies.
Well, yeah, it was a superhero, and then I think when I was going to do a podcast start with somebody else that's what we were going to start, and I still thought that was a great place to start. So, not really like my first pick. I don't have a problem with.
No regrets.
I don't want to. Yeah, no regrets. So now that we're moving away from that, and I'm looking at, I want to pick a James Bond movie, and I kept going back and forth between two of them. There's, I have a few of my favorite that we'll probably end up watching a few James Bond movies, and I kept going. I didn't know if I wanted to give you an easy one, like one I knew you were gonna like, and we watched together before, or kind of go a little bit older.
Well, I'm pretty sure we've seen all of them.
Oh, I know. I've seen all of them.
I know you have. I'm talking about me. I know you introduced me to, I'm pretty sure all of them. At least,
I've introduced
maybe not
you to
the
a
ones
lot.
you didn't really care for. But
yeah. Which I didn't want to go back to the Sean
I've only seen
Connery.
them, like,
I
once.
didn't want to go ahead and go way back to Sean Connery and really bore you.
Yeah, spare me.
And the audience. But we're going to go with the first Pierce Brosnan movie, GoldenEye, from 1995. So we're still in the 90s. I didn't give you an easy Daniel Craig movie, but what we're going to watch GoldenEye.
Okay.
I know it was one of the ones that started my love for James Bond, and there's so many other things with that movie that we'll get into that made it not only special to me, but as culturally and stuff in the 90s. And so anyways,
Well,
look forward to that.
it.
Look forward to that.
Looking forward to it.
And again, we didn't look up where to find it.
Oh,
I think all these are on Amazon.
We're gonna put them in the show notes. That's one thing we decided. We're gonna put in the show notes where you can find them to watch, and then we'll put in like, should we put in the show notes of what we're gonna watch next, and like where to find it so they can watch it before they
Well, I think
listen?
people will want to watch it.
Or after. See if they agree.
I know you can watch it on Amazon Prime. I know they had all of them on there at one time.
Yeah, you have to buy them or rent them.
Rent
I guess.
them.
You probably own this one, don't you? The DVD.
I don't know if I still do. Probably still do.
I don't think we got rid of them.
I had a lot of James Bond ones at one time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have a DVD. Don't have a DVD player. But
Right.
You probably had a VHS. What are you talking about?
You could probably find GoldenEye out there. Check out Amazon Prime. Might have to rent it for a couple bucks. Might have a DVD in your drawers if you still have a DVD. So we'll put it, like I said, we'll put it in show notes. So look forward to that. And is there anything else?
No. As always, like and subscribe.
Hey, find us on our socials. We have a Facebook page now.
Yeah, I'm hopefully gonna work on an Instagram soon.
Yeah.
That's more my lane, and I have not had time to do one yet.
So like us on Facebook. We're on Apple Podcast, and I'm trying to get us on Spotify. I need to do it MP3 format because I did it wrong last time. So I'm trying to get on Spotify and Google Podcast. So you have, and then there's Podbeam, who is the one that does all of our. It's our what do you call it? That's where we host. That's our host, and that's where they puts it on all the sites. So look forward to hearing from you guys. We like the feedback.
Yeah,
like it. Hey, give us some 5-star ratings.
Yeah,
try to get us some audience. If you like it, if you don't, I understand. I don't blame you.
Yeah, you don't have to get 5-star ratings. Just give us some ratings.
Hey, if I figure out how to find the comments and stuff, I might read some of the 5-star ratings if you put it on here. So we appreciate everybody's support and love you guys.
Yeah. See you next time.
See you next time. Bye.